What's your favorite word in your language that can't be exactly translated in English? Fun fact, the GH in cough is actually a remnant of Middle English, an abandoned letter called yog, which happens to look a bit like the printer version of G you see in books, the weird glasses-looking one. It's a remnant of Old English rules, but not Old English rules. Cough would have been pronounced like it's spelled back then, with the GH being a guttural HCHHHH sound. In Polish we have many ways we can change a word to a diminutive form. So in English you have cat, greater than kitten or kitty. In Polish we have kot, greater than kotek, koteksik, koczelek, kotis, kikirek, koshek, koshachek, kosi, koshiatko, kisha, kishalek, kishis, kasisko, koker. There's probably some missing. You can basically change something to a diminutive form and then do it again. And there's different ways of doing it, so there's different combinations. And if you ask a Polish person what the difference between all those types of cats might be, it's not easy to say just like that. But it's easy to say that a kishis is cuter than a kakurek. I like this, because it leads to all these different versions of many words that you can use in different situations, whereas in English there might just be one word with one or two diminutive versions for the concept no matter what the situation. It's a sort of expressive language, I guess. There's ways you can alter a word to slightly change its meaning, the gender, what's happening, to whom, etc. In English there are two cases, one singular and one plural, but Polish has 14. So for example, the word dog, pies, will change depending on the context, pies, psa, sm, su, psi. Those are the 7 singular cases, but 2 are the same, so I did not list them again. In Polish you also have more flexibility with the word order, depending on what you want to put emphasis on. If you're saying I am going to work tomorrow, you can put the tomorrow second to put emphasis on when you're going to work a bit more. Usually in this sentence it would go on the end. For even more emphasis you can put it right at the front and say it the way Yoda would. It all sounds fine in Polish, although there's a different sort of nuance and implication with each method. Edit, clarification. If you're fluent in Polish, all this flexibility just comes naturally with the situation. If you want to say something cute, you will know how to mold the word and what options you have to say exactly what you want. But to somebody learning the language it can be daunting at first, probably, especially if you don't speak another Slavic language. In practice it just gives you options when speaking. It's really good for baby talk, or when you're telling somebody how ugly they are. When you need to be expressive or talk to a baby, Polish gives you options. Holy shit, that's awesome. I really wish I knew Polish, but there's no way in hell I'd be able to get that sort of depth unless I lived there. The one easy part about Polish, relatively speaking, is that once you learn the 32 letters of the alphabet and how to voice each letter, and how to say all the compound sounds, i.e. SZ, CZ, DZ, C, etc. In theory you could probably read most Polish and be able to say it properly. Assuming you are able to say the letters and compound sounds in that order. So you could pick up a book, point to some random word, and just make the sounds in that order, and it would probably be close to some degree. Strictly speaking, it would be something a bit strong than that, new and lesser than that's amazing. It's an expression of pleasant surprise and a bit of wonderment at something. Another would be, pronounced Lizy Shigil, literally leads era. It now colloquially means one's peak or a period of most success. It could be career progression, popularity, or just looks. It stems from soccer fans that watch the EPL and specifically from the player Alan Smith, who played at both Leeds and Man U. People initially used it to say that his Leeds era was better than his Man U career. Then it became a general soccer meme to refer to any player's peak performance era and spread to the population at large as a more general expression. It's functionally equivalent to another Korean saying, literally when I used to advance well or when I used to be successful. Which is one of the reasons I believe Leeds era took hold. It's an even more compact way of saying an expression that was already in colloquial use. In Spanish we have desvelarse, that is when you're not able to fall asleep because of something. Me desvelé la noche porque no pude parar de pensar en ti. I couldn't sleep, wasn't able to sleep, because I couldn't stop thinking about you. Empalagar, something that is so sweet that makes you feel like not eating it anymore, a person that is clingy and you get overwhelmed because of that. Estrenar, when you use something for the very first time. Madrugar, when you get up early. Quien madruga, Dios lo ayuda. Kinda like God helps those who get up early. Friolenta / someone that gets cold easily, a rough translation would be cold-natured. Tutir, speak informally, in Spanish we have usted and tú, so when we tú temos a alguien is calling them by tú. Usted inverted question mark podría comer esto? Could you eat this? ¿Tú puedes comer esto? Can you eat this? Vergüenza ajena when you feel embarrassed for somebody. BTW, sorry if I made some grammar mistakes, I'm still learning English. Thai, read Granjai, the close translation is to be considerate. But the meaning is vast. When someone offered generous amount of something you only take some and refuse the rest because you Granjai. You need some help but just feel it would bother or burden people you know so you manage to do it by yourself, that is also Granjai. Basically it is a polite refusal but it also show your consideration toward others of goodwill. This would kinda often use when someone being too generous so the scenes which the giver trying to give and the receiver keep being Granjai would be quite either awkward or hilarious or heartwarming. Polish lesson. Fuck P, kurwa. It's amazing P, oh kurwa. Excuse me what P, ko kurwa. Oh no P, kurwa. I'm so angry P, kurwa mac. Are you insane P, po kurwa loc. It finally worked P, no kurwa. Poor P, kurwa. Milli circus P, kurwa. In Bangla there are 3 ways to say you. Tui, this you is used to disrespect someone. If you want to belittle someone, you can use this. We use this while we fight or when people are trying to be mean or just plain rude or doesn't know manners. Note, sometimes it can also mean that you are too close to that person and you love them. In that case, it would not mean disrespect anymore. Rather it would mean love and trust. To me, this you is our normal version of you. We use it with friends and family members. Apni, this you means respect. If you talk to someone using this, it'll show you respect and admire them. We use it with elderly people and strangers in general. Personally I like this the most and I use it with everyone regardless of their age, except for my friends and family. They are too close. Using this with them is kinda awkward. I like this. English doesn't have this feature. See. In French, there is yes, oui, no, non, and another one. Si. Which mean yes it's not. In context, the sentence you didn't do your homework, isn't? Cannot be answered by yes or no. Yes would be yes, you're right, I didn't. No would mean no, I didn't. With French, you can say yes I did or no I did. It's a negative yes. Or an over-affirmative yes. I don't know if I'm clear.